Okay, so today's project is I need to make another cart. So if you look at the big moving unit behind me, I use that for shows that I go to. My day job is I have a small company called DOS Creations that sells home decor items, that kind of stuff, and I go to these different shows. So I use that for my bigger shows. Winter's coming up, so there's a lot of smaller indoor shows, so your booth size is much smaller. So I want a smaller cart that I can load all my stuff in and just take one trip into the venue and set up and be done and kind of store it under the table, that kind of stuff. So this is what I got to put all this together. So my thought right now is make it out of 2x4s on end like this and kind of laminate them together mechanically using this all thread to cut down the sides. So we'll sandwich all this together. Not solid, because I think the weight would be kind of a pain in the butt. I'm going to make it like 16 inches wide by about 48 inches long. That way, when I go to show stuff, I can stow it between the legs and have it hidden underneath my table when I've got stuff out on the table for sale. So that's what we do for the base. I'm actually going to steal the wheels off of this cart, because I won't need this cart for about 3 or 4 months through the winter. I'm going to use those for this unit. And then I've got some other things in here. So I've got a leftover metal that I'm going to use for plates to mount on the side of the cart. I'm going to weld this pipe in shorter pieces on there. And the reason I'm doing that is it fits this chair leg. And the reason I got this chair from a surplus store is I just need the back. So this is going to be my handle for my cart. So we will see how all of that works out. You can watch me either be successful or utter failure and use it for firewood. So, okay, so I think order of operations, I'm gonna put all the wood base together, make sure that's the size and everything that I want it, that I got the right materials and everything. And then I'll put that off to the side. I'll work on the metal work, so I'll weld all that up and get that mounted to the cart, and then lastly I'll pull the wheels off that other cart, because that's just going to be a lot of grabbing stuff off the shelves and moving things around, so I can steal those and then mount those on there, and then we'll get to that point, and then we'll see what we need to do. Okay, so this is kind of the basic layout for the base. I did have some of this as a spacer for the center because I do know that I wanted it a certain width wide, and the width has to match up with in between the two legs of this chair that I'm using for the handle. So it's 16 inches. When I get over here, that is too thin, what I was going to use. So I think what I'm going to do is cut 3 more spacers out of this 2x4 and then run it through the table saw and get my, I think it's 7/8 of an inch spacers in there. So we'll put those right in the middle here. It'll make this look more uniform when I get those in there. And I think that'll solve my problem. Okay, so I did a little layout on one of my spacer blocks. So I figured it would be easier to throw this up on the drill press. Make sure that the holes are nice and vertical and clean, because I've got to drill similar holes through this set, that set, and the back set, and they all need to line up. So this is now my template. And these longer pieces are probably going to be a little bit hard to get over on the drill press there. So I've got this guy now as my template, and I can probably do this with a hand drill and place this where I need to, mark the center on here, and just drill the holes in every single piece and get it set up for the all thread to run through. So that's what I'm going to do next. Well, that's roughly what it's going to look like. Cut the all thread down to size, bolted on both sides, bolt this together. I do need to recess the nuts on both sides. I'm gonna have to, remove a little bit of material on both sides here. I don't want it to stick out too far because I want it to fit between the legs of my tables when I store this thing. I might be okay if I kind of just tip it and stick it through, but it sure would be nice not to have to do that. I also don't want to take off too much material here, so you could just let a little bit stick out, but we'll figure that out. Got all my hardware, got all my all thread cut down. I'm going to test fit a piece. Okay, so I had a couple issues. Try as I did, these, when I drilled these, they did not go in straight. So I don't know if it's softwood and just kind of made the bit go off a little bit. So I ended up getting a slightly larger bit by a couple sizes and then reaming every hole out on everything. So the spacers and the 2x4s as well. I also wanted the bolts at the end of these to be in a little bit because I wanted to fit it under my table and I don't want the bolts sticking out so much. So I threw these over on the drill press and sunk these about a 1/2 inch, so hopefully most of the nut will be in there. We've still got enough meat of the 2x4 to compress everything together. So that's where we are. Let's put everything together, see how it fits. That one backwards. First one through, wow, those are crazy off. Okay, so I don't like how far out of whack some of these are. So what I should have done from the beginning was clamp it all together and run a long bit through everything. Except I think the only one I have is like a 1/2 inch one, but with as much slop as this is, I think I might do that because these are really, I mean, they're more than a 1/2 inch out from furthest to, I think I might do that. Just enough So if I come from both sides, just kind of stop in the middle, I might have some bend in the rod, but I think that'll go better. So let me do that. Okay, so this worked out better. I wish I did this to begin with. So basically I clamped that side together, ran the long 1/2 inch drill bit through it as far as I could, and then fed the all thread through there. That's bolted together, squared up the edges, and then I did the same thing over here. So there's a piece of all thread here and there. I'm going to do the same to the center, make sure that's all lined up, tap everything flat, and then run the other 3. And then we'll go from there. Battery. On that side. Woo! That went through much better. Okay, so I ran the all thread through. I want to weld the nuts onto each end, so basically I turn them into bolts. That way I can put a lock washer on that side, and I just think it stays together better. So. Tack these up real quick. Okay, so I harvested a couple parts off that old chair. This was going to be my handle. It's going to mount to the back here. Got to make the mounts for it. So that's really all I needed off the chair. I also took this off because it's a brace that came on the front part of the chair. So if I need it, and I think I might need some bracing, I might add that in there and just weld this on for some additional bracing. We'll see how it feels when I get these and these brackets put together and this slid in, how floppy it feels that way. So clean that up and paint it, make that look all nice after I make the brackets and do that all at once. So. Okay, so I think for my plates and my sleeves for the handle, I'm just going to make some plates that are basically 4 by 3 3/8, 2 of those for each side, and then cut down this tube, weld it to the center, then 2, 3, 4 holes in it for bolts, and we'll put that on each side. That'll be the sleeve that'll receive the handle, and then as the handle slips in, I'll have to make some kind of stop so it doesn't go too far down the sleeve. So get that knocked out. Okay, so this is all the metal stuff done. So on the handle, I put some stops there, which are more of, the sleeve material. So that way it'll stop. I don't need to put pins and stuff in it. Then the sleeves, I cut down and welded onto plates, drilled some holes for it, cleaned it all up. So we're kind of letting the stuff dry out there, and I'll throw a coat of paint on it. And then the metal work should be done. So I'm going to go back to the bench part and get that all connected. Put some braces across it, tighten up the bolts, cut them down to the right size, and then get the wheels on them. And we'll go to there. Okay, so this is kind of where I am on the project. I tightened all thread through the middle after I welded one side of those, and then I tightened everything up, and then I cut them all off the length. I had to do a little bit of grinding because the plate, they were going to hit the plate here. So I got all the plates welded up, painted, installed. Same with the handle, which is sitting over here on the saw. So I left that support bracket off because it was a little bit tight getting it into here, so I need the flexibility of the poles moving around, so to get that in. I've also added a little bit of this wafer board stuff here on the bottom for a little bit of strength, because I didn't glue the seams here, I just mechanically fastened them by bolting them together. So to keep them from moving around or if things loosen up over time, I put a layer of construction adhesive on the back side of those and then ran some nails through them until it dries. So that's the support mechanism for underneath. And then I was a little bit lazy and I hate redoing stuff, so I just ordered some more wheels and stuff for this cart. Left the other wheels on my big cart because I did not want to unload that whole thing, make my workshop a disaster, and then put everything back. So a little bit of laziness, a little bit of I got two carts that move around. So so it comes with bolts, and I need lag screws. So I'm going to dig through my pile of stuff, come up with those, and then install the wheels. Okay, so I placed all the wheels, marked them, pre-drilled some small holes, and then I'm about a ½ inch off of each corner. Straight wheels are in the front. The back where I've got the handle, I've got the swivel wheels. If you ever used a cart dolly or something like that, I just prefer it that way. So I usually end up pulling the thing rather than pushing it. So when you get a lot of weight on, it just seems like maneuvering the back end and pushing it makes a little more sense. So. Okay, so I actually finished this project up yesterday. Had some issues with the camera I was using. It was out of focus, so sort of see what was going on, but it was a little bit fuzzy. So I also did not like the screws that I used for mounting the wheels on this. They were not the correct screw, so it did not have a coarse thread. I had a finer thread, so I didn't like that. When I was torquing them down, I didn't like the grip that I was getting into the wood. I felt like they were going to slip out, and I don't want a fully loaded cart to lose a wheel at the middle of a show or something like that. So gave me a chance to go get the right bolts. So we'll get these wheels reattached and then finish up from there. I like to get all the screws started, but not all the way in, so I can move them around if I need to. Because like most things, the holes for these casters are slotted, so there's some adjustment in them. Oh, that's much better. You can feel those bite in much better, so I like these. So, right faster for the right job. It's always nice. Okay, so finished up with the project. I think it turned out pretty good. Couple things I learned along the way. I think as you always do, you have something in your mind that you want to make, and then as you're doing it, you find improvements or things that don't work, or something, so you change change mid-course to fix it. I was kind of thinking it was going to be a medium-duty cart. I would say the base and the wheels are heavy-duty, because the wheels I have are the same wheels on my big cart, and those are about, altogether can hold up to 1,800 pounds. So they're heavy-duty casters. The 2x4 base that I made is heavy-duty. It's a little heavier than I thought it was going to be, and which is why I took out some wood in the middle. I'm going to use it and see how it works the first time. I think it's a little heavy, so I may cut out sections, cut these out and that one out. So that'll take out 4 little pieces. I just need enough of a frame to hold these crates. Other than that, it worked out well. I would say this is a light to medium duty handle with the materials I used for it. So, but I think as a cart it'll work great. I like the casters that rotate on the front by the handle, because a lot of times I'll pull it behind me, and that way it's just easier to follow behind me. And I made it small enough, like I said earlier, to fit under a 2x4 foot table, and I can just pull the handle off, lay it down, and slide it on the table, and it's out of the way until I need it again. So I made this specifically for these bins, because I put everything in bins when I go into shows. So I made it to fit 3 across, and well, more likely 6 bins and maybe some random stuff on top, because this is for smaller shows. So I think it turned out well. Hopefully you enjoyed the process of me changing things and messing up and doing some different things. I did learn a few things from it if I were to make another one, so hopefully you noticed those boo-boos that I made and I had to make corrections mid-course. So hopefully you enjoyed watching me do this. If you want to see some more things, please like, share, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Mash all the buttons, and I'm going to clean up the shop a bit and go on to the next project. Appreciate it.